In sports, the scoreboard doesn't tell the full story, but Netflix does. Stories about dads who happen to be world-class quarterbacks and a battle for the heart, soul, and direction of the multi-billion-dollar business of F1. Whether you're a diehard fan or you're brand new, Netflix has the stories for every type of fan. You can watch these incredible sports stories like Quarterback, F1 Drive to Survive, Untold, and many more now on Netflix.
Hello and welcome to a new podcast, The Paddock and the Pavilion with Stephen Wallace. In each show, Stephen will interview someone connected to the world of horse racing or cricket.
This episode was recorded at the beginning of February. Hello and welcome to The Paddock and the Pavilion. On today's show, we have gone back to Capital Kids Cricket to chat to one of their inclusion coaches, Denise O'Neill, who does fantastic work coaching in the London hospitals. You will remember in episode 22, I spoke to Denise's boss, Ratan, the CEO of Capital Kids Cricket. Enjoy today's extra podcast. Hello, Denise. At last we speak. It's great to catch up with you on the Paddock and the Pavilion.
Hi, Steve. I know it's taken forever, hasn't it? But I'm finally here. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm hoping to have a lovely long chat with you today.
Well, you'll be fine. How are you? Busy, scared, anxious?
I'm a bit anxious. I'm still working because obviously the hospital stuff that I do is slightly different. So I've gone from doing PE sessions to now back in the classroom with the children doing their GCSEs, and then additional PE comes in at any point in the day. You know, they might say, Denise, we've had enough now. Can we go and do some cricket or can we go and play whatever? And that's what we've been doing. So I'm fortunate enough that one of the hospitals, the Chelsea Hospital, Chelsea and Kensington, have been really good with me. So I do 3 days a week in the mental health unit. Yeah, it's challenging.
So, Denise, what's it like travelling at the moment into London?
Oh, it's scary, to be fair. I don't like travelling. Because I've got to get the tube in, and obviously because I'm in school for 9:30, so I'm going in with everybody else. It's quite busy. It's quite busy. I panic if someone comes and stands beside me on the platform. And then when you get on the tube, you know, people that want to come and sit beside you, and it makes me quite ignorant in a way, because as soon as someone comes near me, I kind of turn away. I turn my back on them, and because I'm scared. So I go in with a mask and a visor to go on the tube. It's ridiculous, but it's the only way that I can keep myself safe, you know. And obviously going into the children in the hospital in our protective bubble, I've got the extra worry of catching it and then giving it to the kids. So my only blessing now is that we're doing our lateral flow tests twice a week. So Monday and Wednesday, I test myself at home before I go into work, so that I know that I'm safe. And then when we get there, we test all the children.
Right.
But it is, it's worrying.
So you're taking every precaution you can. Yeah.
As much as you possibly can.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously I've learned, don't touch my face, and it's all this mad stuff, you know, don't touch my phone. And it's just learning new skills that you kind of take for granted. I didn't realise how many times I actually touch my face until I can't do it. I'm almost sitting on my hands on the tube. But it's, you know, it's the way it has to be. It has to be some sort of normality. And I sat at home for 5 months, so it does help. It does help going into work, but it's the worrying part is getting in.
On today's show, we're going to chat about your role as an inclusion coach with Capital Kids Cricket, working with Ratan, who appeared on episode 22 of the programme, and your love of cricket. But let's start by asking, what are you now doing coaching-wise in lockdown 3?
So in lockdown 3, it's easier now for me than it was in lockdown 2, because obviously everyone's more prepared now. But I'm in one bubble. So where before I was doing Great Ormond Street, we can't get in there anymore. Evelina Children's Hospital, we're actually doing online Teams lessons with the children in the dialysis unit. So we've gone back to doing all hand-eye coordination stuff. You know, we've given them, they've got sheets, and it'd be like how many back taps or how many catches. And it's just to keep some sort of normality, you know, because they're used to seeing us for the last 15 years. And then to not have us at all. So the school have been really good at accommodating that. So Ray and I do Tuesdays all day now on a Tuesday, going into the hospital through teams. We've got one little girl in particular, Evelina. She likes to throw the ball at the screen. So when she throws the ball at the screen, Ray and I go, "Oh, out!" like she's knocked us over. So she's now interacting probably more than she did before, because she thinks it's funny that she can throw the ball at the iPad and we fall over. And then my Chelsea stuff, I'm now reduced to one site where I used to be in 3. And just, again, it's the supporting the children for my sanity as well. So it's challenging, but it can be done. It can be done. You know, you just got to adapt, haven't you, Steve, to everything that you do now in life. Everything you've got to be able to adapt. So, and I drive the minibus as well, which is kind of fun because I'm like Edie McCready.
What does the minibus involve, Denise?
So the minibus belongs to Chelsea School. So I decided last year, just before COVID, to actually do my minibus licence so that the days I'm in, I could take the children out. Didn't realise how important it actually would be, because now I can drive the children over, say, to Hyde Park, and we go for our walks. And obviously there's parakeets in Hyde Park, and the children love to go and feed the parakeets. So it's a bit of a highlight for them. So me doing my minibus licence was the best thing ever.
Well, thanks for that. But can you tell me a bit about your own background and how you first got involved with Capital Kids Cricket?
Right, my background of cricket is non-existent, right? It was by sheer, I don't know if you call it luck, but my son played cricket. My son's 29 now, but when Aidan was like 7, started playing cricket in school and really enjoyed it. So then he started at Stoneham Cricket Club, which was tiny then. I think there was only about 30 kids. So I used to go and help, you know, and my background was a TA. So I was kind of used to children, but not in sport. I bunked off every PE lesson I ever went to in school. I wasn't sporty. But I kind of started thinking, like, I really quite like cricket. It's really calming, and it's, you know, it's a nice thing for the children to play. There's less aggression than football and stuff like that. So anyway, I started doing the mummy runs, taking the kids to games. And then the guy that was running at the time said, "Why don't you go and do your level 1? Because then you have a little bit of knowledge." Because I had no knowledge, you know. So this is like, what, 20 years ago, 22 years ago or something. So I went and done my level 1. And that's it. I've been coaching ever since.
You've done level 2 now, though, haven't you?
I'm a level 2 now as well. I am indeed. But it was more about, I think with me, with cricket, with every sport, there's different levels of where you want to go. Now, me, I just preferred to be in the grassroots area, you know, getting the kids to have fun and believe in themselves. That's my level, you know. If I think that someone is in need of something more, then you just progress. And there's lots of us through the system. You just pass them along. But I like the rough and ready kids. I like the kids that people go, absolutely not. They're never going to be able to play cricket. Everybody can play cricket. At what level, it doesn't matter, but everybody can play.
Well, that's important to get interest in the game. So you've now been working in the hospitals for 16 years, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 16 years. Yeah.
And how many different hospitals do you actually work at?
So I do. So initially we started off at Great Ormond Street, and that was a 3-month trial because it had never been done. So like Capital Kids was approached by Chance to Shine and basically said, "Look, we've got this project. Do you think you can deliver it?" So Ray and I kind of went in a little bit like, what do we do here? You know, in a hospital, you just didn't know what to expect. So Ray had kind of set out all our lesson plans, and it was like, this is what we're going to do. and you just go in and it's like rip them up. You can't really plan anything because you don't know. We could have a child in a wheelchair. The majority of the children have cannulas. You'll go on the wards. And it's you just have to kind of thinking on your feet. You have to be prepared to think on your feet and we become like actors. We're like this double act that goes in and just, you do what you need to do to get the kids to interact, and it works. So that's Great Ormond Street, and then Evelina Children's Hospital, connected to St Thomas's. We've been in there about 14 years. And then I do Collingham Child and Family Centre, Lavender Walk, and Chelsea and Kensington Hospital. So they're all in a big bubble. They've got about 6-7 sites. The Royal Free. I do a lot. I do all of them. And the UCH as well.
How long are you in there for when you go in on a day?
We're in for the whole school day. So right. We'll go in for the whole school day, and so it's proper PE lessons. Yeah. It's very structured. So you go in, we're on the timetable when it's PE day. And then, some will play cricket, but then, if the kids are in their wards and are on their beds, we then adapt to what they can do at that time. So like I kind of made up this game. We do a basketball game, for example, with a beach ball. So the kids would be in their bed and we do the whole rise up the beds. And, the curtain pole?
Yeah.
That's their basketball net.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's just about learning what you can use in that environment. Some things don't work and you literally have to take it on the chin and, never be afraid to kind of say, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And you just go on, and it's proven to have. It's good for their mental health.
Must be, yeah.
Some of the children we don't even do anything with. We'll just sit and talk to them. They want to talk, and I'll talk. You can see. I talk all day long if I had to.
And do you get a lot of support from the doctors, nurses, parents?
Yeah, in the beginning it was a bit confusing for them. They're like, hang on a minute. We're coming in, you're doing PE, and the parents will go, oh no, my child can't do PE. We say, no, we're not going to make them run around the wards. It's when we say PE, it's hand-eye, it's fun stuff, hand-eye coordination. We might do a bit of it, whatever. And 90%, 95% of the time, they're fine with it. We have doctors join in, the nurses join in, and it's got to the point now where we're so well known in the hospitals. It's like, Ray and Denise Day. And it just works for everyone. It's brilliant.
And I read somewhere that you were talking about acting, that you dressed up in a Harry Potter outfit one day as well.
Right. So my very first lesson at one of the Chelsea sites, the children wasn't really feeling it. They're kind of looking at me like, what are you doing? And I said, you know what? We can do PE anywhere you like, and I'll do anything that I need to do. So I went into their dressing up box and dressed up as Harry Potter. And we went out into their little space and we played cricket. So I played cricket in a big pointy hat, and we've adapted it where I actually had the children pretending their cricket bats was playing Quidditch, so, and it's about just letting them know that it's all about having fun.
Well, just about Harry Potter, but Daniel Radcliffe, the Harry Potter, is a big cricket fan. So let's hope he hears about it. Yeah,
I hope he does, and maybe he can see how you can play cricket in Quidditch mode. It's brilliant, honestly.
And you've mentioned several times Ray, your sort of dream team member. This is Ray Tudor, who's Alex Tudor, the former England fast bowler's brother. So what's it like working with Ray?
Ray, do you know what? That he's just an absolute ledge. I've known Ray for many years. I knew Ray before I actually worked there because he actually taught my son when he was at London schools. But Ray is just genuinely the nicest guy I've ever worked with. And we just bounce off each other. You know, I've known him for so many years now that I don't have to say anything, and nor does it. We just look at each other and we go, nah, you know, that's not working. Yeah, he's a dream to work with.
So summarising where you're working and what you're doing at the moment, Denise, you're working 3 days at the Chelsea Hospital, going into the hospital, and you're doing 1 day a week on a Tuesday with Evelina via Teams. And you've also won some awards. I read that in 2012 you were a torchbearer at the Paralympics.
I was indeed. Again, with my sidekick.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. So basically, we done the 24-hour relay. So there was Ray and I, and then 2 other coaches from Surrey. I think that was doing the blind, the visually impaired cricket at the time. So we done ours from Evelina Children's Hospital around to the London Eye. Huge honour.
And it was to do with your work with SEND children, is that right?
That's right. So that was we was nominated for our work at Great Ormond Street. And
this is children with special educational needs, yeah.
That's right, yeah. Because don't forget that the special educational needs, the umbrella is huge. So obviously within the children's hospitals, you know, you've got children that are poorly, but you've also got children that are siblings. You know, so a lot of the time people don't seem to realise that when the child is in hospital, the effect it has on the family is phenomenal. So, you know, some children actually have to move in, especially if they're outside London. A lot of them move into London so their child can be treated, but they have to bring the rest of the family with them. So we have children that are coming to school, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with them except that their poorly little brother or sister is upstairs on the ward. So, you know, it's a tough one, but we meet all manner of children.
It's certainly an area of education that vast majority of people would never have heard of. You must get great job satisfaction.
I have to admit, I absolutely love my job, you know, and don't tell anybody, but it's so much fun. It's not really like working. It's just, I absolutely love it. It's probably one of the only people I know that can say I actually love going to work. I love my job.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. And you also won a Chance to Shine No Boundary Award in November 2019. I've seen you all glammed up on the screen here and cuddling Ryan Sidebottom in one scene as well.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ryan Sidebottom. Yeah, so I won that. I didn't know anything about it. At all. It was a bit of a shock. Great honour. But the thing with Ryan as well, there's a little story. I don't know if you heard my when I was up on stage.
No.
Right. So anyway, there was a little story. So when I first met Ryan Sidebottom was many years ago. There was a group of children from Great Ormond Street and the UCH. We went over to Lords to meet the team. The England team were training in the indoor school. So anyway, when they'd finished training, Ryan came up to meet the children. You know, he's just a gentle giant. He's a lovely guy. But one of the children was an amputee. So he actually said to Ryan, can you sign my leg? And he kind of looked at him and he went, yeah, all right then. So the kid actually took it off and handed him his leg. And it kind of stuck. So that was where I'd first met Ryan. And he's just a smasher. He's a smashing guy. Like, he ended up doing stuff with me during lockdown, you know. So yeah, he's a nice guy. You should interview. He's good. He's good.
Good. And Denise, you recently featured in the Daily Telegraph sports supplement with an article by the sort of esteemed cricket writer, Scyld Berry. What was that day like when he came in to see you?
Oh, that was brilliant. It was a really fun day because he got stuck in and he joined in all the sessions and it was an amazing day. I think it was a bit of an eye-opener to him as well as to, what levels we will go to get a child to interact. So there was balls flying everywhere, and yeah, it was great fun. And I know he was quite humbled by it, because it can be quite an emotional place to work, you know, and I think he see that side of it, that it's not just about, you've got to remember that some of these children are so poorly, you know, and they still want to join in and, you know, get out of their bed and, you know, hit a ball around their room. And it was a great day.
What hospital was that one at?
So he came to Evelina, but he also, this was the one at the Bristol Royal Infirmary. So he'd kind of seen us in a few different sites, which were very different as well. But yeah, so, and then he pulled it all together for that. And it was an amazing article, honestly. I was very honoured and flattered by it.
And he mentioned in the article about a company designing some new piece of kit for you, some ball machine.
Oh, yes, Bowler. Bowler's going to make us our own bowling machine, especially for the hospital, which is amazing. So I've had balls sent over so we can check the weight and the size. And so basically it's going to be a portable bowling machine, and it's going to be able to like turn around, sit on a table, turn around, and the balls can fire out. So we can slow it down, and if the kids are in their beds, the balls can shoot and they can catch them, or, you know. So yeah, it's a really, really brilliant idea, and it's never been done before. So we will be the first ones to have one. Exciting.
Well, that sounds exciting for the children.
It is exciting.
Yeah. Well, we always have a part on our show when we ask people for their favourites in cricket, and I just wondered if you've got a favourite batsman and why.
I don't really.
You haven't?
I don't really. I don't have any favourites, no. I don't. To be fair, I don't really watch much cricket because I don't have time.
Oh, you're too busy enjoying your work, aren't you? And
to be fair, in my house, shame on me for saying it, but no one in my house will have cricket on.
Not even your son, no?
He doesn't live with me now. He doesn't. He's a big boy now. He's off doing his own things. But Aidan doesn't. Aidan gave up. Aidan gave up playing cricket.
So have you been to watch? Have you been to watch some cricket though at all?
Yeah. I mean, I you know, if I had to say the last time I ever went to watch a match, I was probably watching like Mark Butcher and Mr. Rampakash and people like that. Do you know what I mean? So
you're going to the Oval.
I like the Oval. I like the Oval. There's nothing wrong with Lords. I love Lords, you know, and I'm obviously Middlesex all the way along, but I just think that the Oval is very homely.
Yeah.
It's a homely ground, you know.
It had a very good name change the other week, obviously the Oval as well, didn't it?
It did indeed. It had our boss, Mr. Rattan, had his name up there. Yes.
It was a great honour for all the work he'd done. And the future, Denise, when do you think you might get back to some sort of normality and some cricket coaching in the hospitals?
Honestly, I think once it gets a bit warmer and we start getting this vaccine rolled out, I cannot wait for the day that I can take those kids out to the park and play cricket all day. All day. I think our last cricket game was July in Holland Park with pizza delivery.
Oh,
and
you
we
also
spent the day. Yeah.
You also get a chance to take some of them outside as well during the summer, yeah? So
the children at Chelsea can come out of the hospital, yeah. So we've done trips. We've done, you know, we drove to Chessington in July. So they are allowed out, these particular children, which is a bit of a blessing for them. So, yeah, we've had sports days. I've done a sports day with them in July. And they love cricket. This is the thing. These guys love cricket. So it will be wonderful to get them back out again. I'm hoping by May it'll be back to normal.
Thank you very much for being with me on the Paddock and the Pavilion. And keep up the good work.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, it's really good. I'm quite chuffed that you've actually interviewed me, because I'm not really. I'm just doing what I do and I love, But thank you very much, Steve.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job and keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to The Paddock and the Pavilion. You can download the show on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher and Spotify. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at The Pad and Pav.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Experience the magic of the holidays at Meadowlark's Winter Walk of Lights. Saunter along an elegant garden trail decorated with 500,000 sparkling lights, perfect for a date night or family holiday outing. Stay warm sipping on a hot beverage with or without spirits, or gather around a fire making s'mores. Extend your holiday season and beat the crowds by visiting early. Meadowlark's Winter Walk of Lights, starting November 10th. Get your tickets now at winterwalkoflights.com. That's winterwalkoflights.com.